Morning. Welcome back, Market Snipers. TGIF. Thank God it's Friday, right? Wow, I think this is the 37th consecutive live stream. So, welcome back if you've been here before. September 6th, we started live streaming, and welcome if this is the first time. So, the first 15 to 30 minutes, we're going to go through a ton of charts. We've got a lot of charts to get through, a lot of things we want to take a look at. And then the second half, if you're a subscriber to the YouTube channel, definitely comment an asset you would like me to chart. Let me know the symbol. Let me know the name of it. Let me know if it's crypto or stock, because there's so many to choose from. It may be something that's not on my watch list. It may be something that I haven't charted before in the past, which is always a fun thing to do. And then let me know the context of what you're looking at. Are you waiting patiently to take a long position? Are you already in a long position? Are you going to short it? So we can look at it through the lens of yourself. And so let's jump right in. Of course, we're going to cover Bitcoin on this channel. We cover Bitcoin every single day. We're going to cover crypto. We're going to cover stocks. We're going to get into all that. Let's start off with the NASDAQ, right? And when we start off with the NASDAQ, let's jump into the chart, make it a little bit bigger here, and we're going to get right into it, right? So the NASDAQ, we've been covering this, this breakdown, right? And what's interesting is I'm not going to change the screen, but I'm just going to read one thing that I posted into the Discord last night. I posted 20-something charts with all the details, and I wrote out this last night about 5 p.m., right? So just after the crypto close and stuff, but most likely NASDAQ pending weekly sell signal will be a sell signal after tomorrow. I mapped out the short-term targets in the boxes, longer-term targets. A lot of confluence at the lower levels, 12,600 to 13,400 area. Seems like a bounce into the weekend, late Friday and or Sunday, because the NASDAQ futures opens back up Sunday, 3 p.m. my time, right? Pacific Standard Time. And the weekend, late Friday and or Sunday, Monday, before the next drop lower. We expect bounces along the way, right? Good morning, John P. Hello, Jewelry Affairs. West Diddy, Go Time, T-2. You know it. Javier, yo, Jesse, my man. What's up, Javier? Welcome back. We expect bounces along the way. That's what we do. We don't expect, would we like it if we're in a short position from 15,314 just to come straight down? Absolutely, right? We would love that as a swing trader, as someone who was shorting the NASDAQ futures on shorting the bounces. Practice what we preach, right? We actually take advantage of the markets. We don't just influence, right? We don't just create content over here. We're swing traders. We're obsessed with the charts. We're obsessed with swing trading. Rick's Money Makers Helton. Good morning, everyone. 3-week vacation on the Tennessee River. Oh, jealous, Rick. Nice. But I'm glad you're tuning in, even though you're on vacation. You got to get your morning dose of the market snipers, right? So staying on track, right? We're going to get into all the comments. We're going to get into all that later on in the second half of the stream. But we're looking at the daily chart of the NASDAQ, right? The last sell signal was Wednesday, the 18th. So that was such a big move down, right? From that wick at 15,468, let's call it, down to what is that? 14,135, right? It was starting to sell off pretty hard. If you're looking at the lower time frames, like the 1 hour chart, Luis, good morning. The 1 hour chart, Doc, hello from Germany. What's up, Doc? That's a big move for the NASDAQ, right? From a 8.61%, call it, from wick to wick. It was starting to sell off hard on the 4 hour chart. It was oversold for a while. But that's sometimes when the magic happens, right? It was oversold on the 1 hour chart for a while, but that's sometimes when the magic happens, right? Waldo, good morning. Welcome back, everyone. Smash that like button. Keep Keep doing it. We got 54 likes and 2 dislikes. Shout out to all the people supporting me on here. Shout out to the 2 haters that hit the dislike button. You can't make everyone happy, right? And we don't even pretend to try to make everyone happy. We don't care. I mean, we want people to like us, right? At the end of the day, we want to be likable. We want people to like us. But at the end of the day, sometimes truth hurts, right? Sometimes truth hurts, and you're gonna hit a dislike button. It helps the algorithm whether you hit the dislike or the regular like button. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day. However, I just want to point out we did have 2 dislikes. We're not perfect, I guess. So expect bounces along the way. That was a massive move, right? And it was starting to look oversold on the 1 hour chart. Speaking of, let's go to the 1 hour chart. Let's just take a look at what I'm looking at, what I'm talking about, let's see, this was at yesterday at 10 a.m. on the 1 hour chart. It was getting really oversold on the 1 hour chart, right? It was oversold on the 1 hour chart all of Wednesday, right? Quick little bounce, another move back down, even putting in bullish divergence. And this is one of the things that I love on our indicators is that if you're in the recorded coaching, not only do you get the sharpshooter candles like the regular Discord for $29 a month, but you also get the sharpshooter RSI, right? And it makes more sense if you've gone through recorded coaching. So I don't release both indicators, just the $29. But recorded coaching, if you learn the strategy, then these indicators make a lot more sense if you learn the strategy. But what I do love, and you're going to hear me talk about it more and more because I back tested this so much, and it's not 100%, right? But when I'm seeing bullish divergence on the sharpshooter RSI and then combine that with a reversal candle after divergence, whether bullish or bearish, then that's when I started to watch it. I started to watch it, right? Starting to gain relative strength on the 1 hour. And then you're looking at like after hours, right? We're looking here 3 p.m., right? Buy signal, right? Starting to move sideways. So about this time, that's when I was looking at it, and the futures was closed, right? Futures closed at, I think, 2 p.m. my time and started back up 3 p.m. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, whatever. I don't know. I think it closed at 2 p.m. and starts back up at 3 p.m. So that's when I posted in the Discord a bunch of charts, and I said, it looks like we could possibly get a bounce, right? It was getting oversold on the lower time frames, bullish divergence followed by reversal candle. This is a very short time frame, right? We're seeing a pending sell signal on the weekly chart. So obviously, I think the overall trend is down. This is just a temporary like profit taking. This is a temporary lock in those profits type of thing, right? And I called it out on yesterday's live stream. Would they front run me? Would the big players front run me right before the 200-day moving average on the NASDAQ futures? I called this out in the live stream yesterday, right? Would they front run my next major target, right? It's starting to look like they did, right? So 14,154 was literally 0.64% away from the next major target down. Are they front running me and taking profits right before, right? This is nothing new. This is something that we watch on a regular basis, right? This is a regular thing. If I change it to the 200-day, right, it's like less than 1% away from the 200-day moving average. So the moving average guys out there, right, the ones who trade with moving averages, they just took profit and front ran the 200-day moving average by 0.76%, right? They just front ran the market sniper's next major target by 0.64%. I called this out on the live stream yesterday. Are they going to front run us before hitting targets, take profit, and then you start to see like on lower time frames start to find a local bottom and bounce? Very similar to Monday, right? There was a reversal candle, started to bounce. I actually locked in my profits then. And I was watching it on the lower time frames. I was watching it on the 4 hour chart. I was watching on the 1 hour chart. I was watching. And then it looked like it was starting to roll over. And I got back into my position and I took another short, another 4-digit short, locked that in, right? Locked that in. And then started talking about it here in the Discord. Hey, looks like maybe we could see some profit taking. Maybe we could see a shorter term bounce. I was referring to something similar to this, right? Maybe it's even higher, right? Maybe it's even a bigger bounce, comes back up into that 14,600, 700-ish range. I was seeing like another pattern play out, possibly on the NASDAQ futures, very similar to the other indices that have kind of led the way. And if we look back on the weekly chart, right, I was looking here. No, let's look at the daily chart, right? Kind of zoom in here. So on the other indices, a big major move down like this around this area. It looks like they had some bounces right either before or on the 200-day moving average, but also back over here. So maybe get some sort of short-term bounce after this major move down. Let the trending dots catch up. Let the moving averages catch up. All that stuff. Profit taking, all part of the formula, right? All part of what we're watching. All part of, we know it's not up forever. We know it's not down forever. Expect bounces along the way. Expect pullbacks along the way, right? That's the NASDAQ. Still bearish on the daily. Still bearish on the weekly chart, right? Pending sell signal. After today, it will be a sell signal, right? So if we kind of watch what happened after that, there was a sell signal on the Dow Jones back in September, continuing to trend down. Even if there's bounces along the way, right? Still overall trend is downward on the Dow Jones. S&P 500, sell signal, battled this upward trend line. They're all similar, but they're all different, right? They're all similar, but they're all different. You have to treat each one individually, but they can give us clues. Sometimes they're lagging, sometimes they're leading, and sometimes they're right on time, right? So weekly chart, bounce, 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 and then wick all the way back up. Got very wicky up here. And then it's not how the candle starts, it's how the candle closes. We know that as a market sniper, right? And then it closed back down, very bullish, closed back below the 200-day moving average, faked back up to the upside, and now follow through to the downside below the 200-day moving average. Many investors think the 200-week moving average above it is a bull market, below it is a bear market. It's pretty general thought, right? I think Investopedia talks about the 200-day moving average. So above the 200-day moving average is a bull market. Below the 200-day moving average is a bear market, right? A trend downward for more than 6 months, some investors call that a bear market, right? So anyways, there's a lot of definitions out there. We're just calling it as this was looking like a top. This was looking at like a lower high. This is like looking like a lower top. Going back here, this was the all-time high. This is looking like a lower high, right, on the macro, right? And it's turning out to be that way, right? We're calling out January, December 14th, sent out a text to the immediate family, right? Hey, I think there's a bigger downside to the market. Talk to your financial advisor. I'm not your financial advisor. Sorry, fam. But the market snipers get a lot more intel than my own family, right? Right here, let's see, October 12th, NASDAQ was starting to roll over, put in another lower high, text to the fam. Hey, it looks like it's starting to be confirmed. Go talk to your financial advisor, possibly going to cash. Come up with a strategy, right? Protect your overall what you have, protect what your wealth, protect your pennies saved, right? Your pennies invested, right? Protect all of that. We don't know. It's a big question mark. We don't know, right? But what we do know is it's trending down to the next target. It's trending down to the next target. Don't have to worry about this question mark until we hit this target. Don't have to worry about this target until we hit this target, right? So we're taking it level by level. There are signs that point here. Many major stocks have come back down to here. Doesn't mean the indices will. We'll see. We'll see if it continues to trend down. Russell 2000 is one of those ones that could be leading the way, could be trending down, right? Will it come back down March 2020 lows? We don't know but we don't need to worry about it until it hits this target. We don't need to worry about this target until it hits this target. We don't need to worry about this target until it breaks down from this target. Oh, wait, it's breaking down from this target in real time. I guess we have to worry about this target. below $1,500 on the Russell 2000. Let's keep going. Let's rock and roll for the first 15 to 30 minutes. G-Rod, Morning Snipers. Welcome back, G-Rod. Still bullish on the weekly chart for the DXY, right? So not much to report there. Still above the trailing dots. Only retrace back to this target so far. We're going to leave those targets on for now. 10-year yield, still currently ultra bullish on the weekly chart. Still currently ultra bullish on the monthly chart, right? The month is almost over. We're coming into the end. Early next week will be the end. Could we see some sideways action going into the last couple of days of the month? Could we see some wicks created for the monthly candles and the weekly candles early next week, and then the candles finish differently? Yes, we'll all be prepared for that. We'll all watch it. We'll take it level by level, step by step. The VIX down 2.85%. It's a wild animal, but there's a buy signal here, right? Currently, there's a pending reversal candle, but still holding and could close back above this long downward trend line. Like I've been saying, I don't love this downward trend line, but it's from March 2020 highs of the VIX, the volatility of SP 500. I don't love it, but there's not much to really go off of, so we're going to keep it, right? It kind of battled it for a few weeks, still battling it, but a close back above. So you had a weekly close above it, and then another one kind of back testing it. Then we're going to find out next week if there's going to be follow through to the upside on the VIX. We'll continue to watch it. SQQQ was pending a buy signal on the weekly chart just the other day, right? And price is up to $23. Hit target 1, right? That's when you know it's still early, right? The daily chart had a buy, right? Back here at $19. But it's letting the trending dots catch up. There's no weekly buy signal yet on SQQQ, the inverse of the NASDAQ. We talked about this. If you go to the YouTube channel over here, right? You go to the YouTube channel and view the channel, and you go over here to the videos, right? And you go over to high risk. Go check out that video from 1 month ago. That's high risk SQQ. That's what we're talking about over there. It's already hit target 1, but it seems like it's still early, right? Still early. This is a 200-day moving average. Hasn't even regained or retested that yet. Still no. There was a pending buy signal yesterday. Still no buy signal on SQQ weekly chart, right? So the opportunity is still there. It's letting the trending dots kind of catch up, letting the moving averages catch up. The ideal buy was on the daily chart, but if you're looking at it from a longer term standpoint, the weekly chart is still getting going, still hasn't rocked and rolled, right? One of the charts that we talked about on the videos recently is near. Okay, so near as one of the possible lagging opportunities that we posted here on the video. Let's see, where is it? Bitcoin pumps to $35,000. Opportunity alert. Crypto and BTC miners next? Question mark, right? That was posted 2 days ago. And so 2 days ago, Near was one of them. Cardano was one of them. DOT was one of them. DOT is down 1.68%. But 2 days ago, talking about it back here, that at $1.14, you know, it already hit target 1, and could it, you know, hit these shorter term targets and then possibly make its move higher, right? It seems like it's continuing to trend that way. We had a buy signal back here. That was the ideal buy signal, but the weekly chart hasn't even flipped bullish on Near yet, right? It's starting to gain strength though. It's starting to gain momentum to the upside. Will it? We don't know, right? The MACD had a bullish crossover a long time ago on the weekly chart, but it isn't even back up to the 0 line. RSI is back above the EMA right now. RSI is at 44, is gaining relative strength. It could take some time to play out. If the weekly chart becomes bullish, remember, none of this is financial advice. Always do your own research. This is for educational purposes, hopefully a little bit of entertaining. Smash those likes. Caesar, good afternoon. Welcome back, Caesar. Very consistent calling good afternoon because you're obviously must be on the East Coast over there, Caesar. Awesome. Welcome back to the channel. Near is gaining relative strength on the weekly chart. Near is ultra bullish on the daily chart, right? Somebody lit the daily candles on fire. And I'm sure glad I'm in near right now. I'm in spot near right now. I'm very happy to be in spot near right now. I'm sure there was many people bearish, right? As they should have been. They should have been bearish, but that's when sometimes the opportunity happens and we wait for higher probability reversals. At some point, there's going to be a higher low put in. Wherever that's going to be, we don't know. It could continue to pump up, right? Get rejected at this level. You got the 200-day moving average coming in like this. Somewhere, get rejected. Maybe it puts in a bull flag at some point, puts in a higher low, it's a wild animal, puts in a higher low as the weekly chart is gaining relative strength, right? While the weekly chart is gaining relative strength, at some point, there's going to be a pullback. At some point, there's going to be a possible buy the dip opportunity. At some point, there's going to be retracement and a possible buy the dip opportunity. So if you missed it, continue to watch. Maybe that would be your next entry versus chasing it now while the daily candles are already on fire, right? For me, I'm holding it. And I don't know if there's going to be a possible pullback and then I take profit and jump back in, or I just hold it, right? It's a spot play. It's hopefully a longer term play. Maybe it's weeks, maybe it's a couple months where we come up and nail this target to the upside. The potential is amazing, right? 275% to the next one. Maybe I'll just hold the spot and see what happens. Rock and roll. Cardano looking very similar, right? Looking very similar. Had this shorter term breakout here. So let's draw this trend line. Has very similar breakout here on the daily chart. Cardano. I'm also holding spot Cardano, right? Full disclosure. This isn't a pump and dump. No one's paying me to say this, right? We trade with our own money, right? We actually trade with our own money. I'm not in a leveraged position though. I don't feel the need to it, and I don't want to watch it so closely where I don't get any sleep, right? So Bitcoin is typically one of the only ones I typically trade with leverage for crypto. But in the bear market, I felt like I was late on shorting Bitcoin. So I shorted the crap out of Ethereum with 10x leverage to the downside. Don't do this. Don't try this at home, folks. Experts only. I'm not saying I'm an expert, but if people are asking me questions, what's my entry? What's my exit? What's my stop loss? Are you an expert, right? You should have all that laid out. Where are you taking profits? Like, where are you wrong on a trade? If you don't know the answers to all these questions, should you be trading and should you be trading with leverage? The question is those questions, and the answers are no, right? You shouldn't. Learn first, back test, be obsessive about it, spend the time, put the work in, and then maybe trade with lunch money. Then maybe trade with a little bit more. And then maybe you jump into leverage after that, right? So unless you know the answers to all those questions, I wouldn't recommend it, right? So Cardano, buy signal back here, right? Now the candles are on fire. It is trending up. How is that weekly chart? I've been pointing this out on the weekly chart. Whoo! Cardano weekly chart starting to get me excited, starting to get me fired up. I was calling this out just the other day, right? Weekly chart is getting back above the trending dots. Weekly candle is starting to get back above this downward trend line, right? Already hit target 1. Could see a pending buy in the near future. I believe when the candle was up here at almost 30 cents, we had a pending buy signal. So it's very close to getting a pending buy signal on Cardano. Maybe we get it this week. Maybe it's next week. but we are already in the position based off the daily chart, right? Buy signal back here. Looks like a back test of this downward trend line. It battled, couple wicks up, pushes up higher, came back, looked like a back test, and is resuming off there. Pincock, YT, let's go Cardano. Yes, yes, yes. Hopefully I said that correctly. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. But yes, Cardano, right? 200-day moving average happens to line up with the next sniper target box. Hopefully it continues to go. Weekly chart, flip around. Now DOT. Not looking as great as Cardano and NEAR as of right now, right? However, we did have that buy signal from the breakout from the downward trend line. The candles haven't even flipped ultra bullish yet, right? Everything is still bullish though, right? That was a quick move up into target 2. Now it's consolidating. It's letting the trending dots catch up. It's letting the moving averages catch up. And even though it's not ultra bullish on the daily candles, it is still bullish on the daily candles. Let's take a look at the weekly chart, right? Weekly chart, not even back above the trending dots yet. Is NEAR? Yes, NEAR is currently back above the trending dots. It seems super early for DOT. The weekly candle isn't even back above the trending dots. It was for a brief moment. There was a pending buy signal, I believe, on the weekly chart when it was back above the trending dots, right? The 200-day moving average is back up here near the 4th target, right? And then if it breaks through all of that, if it gains all that and flips all this resistance, right, into support, all these short-term initial targets, flips all this resistance into support, maybe, just maybe, we could see a breakout to the upside, right? Just maybe we could see a breakout to the upside to these targets getting hit longer term up here. Maybe it's a multi-week, a multi-month rally, right? So we'll just take it level by level, but it's possible, right? So let me kind of zoom in here on this weekly chart. So I kind of drew this trend line from here to here, extended it out. Guess what? We already got rejected from that downward weekly trend line, right? I'm not just drawing weekly trend lines for fun, right? And I don't draw a million of them. I don't draw a million different trend lines. I'm just drawing a few, right? I'm just drawing a couple. I don't need to draw a million different trend lines, right? So it looks like it got rejected from that weekly wicked trend line there. And we'll see if it continues to build momentum. It's on the daily chart. It's still bullish, right? Just kind of letting the trending dots catch up, taking time off the clock, right? Letting the moving averages catch up. That is DOT. Woo, 28 minutes in. Price target for ADA. Which one? Jewelry Affairs. We got multiple price targets for ADA. Not sure if you saw the chart. Let me know if a more specific question on, if you're looking at long term, short term, let me know what you're talking about. Cardano, we've already hit target 1. Get another target 2 here. 200-day. I mean, what target are you talking about? We're talking about multiple targets. So that's Cardano. That's DOT. What else? Let's take a look at the miners, right? Another one. This is also talked about. Bitcoin pumps to $35,000. Opportunity alert 2 days ago. Crypto and BTC miners. That video was 26 minutes long. So if you want to take a deeper dive there, awesome. If you want to come over and support the Market Sniper Pro, awesome. If you want to come over and support Twitter X app over there, awesome. Come on over, right? We posted this way back here, January, before we were ever live streaming in the Discord, all that stuff. Who was talking about the breakout? Who took a leveraged long position on Bitcoin at 16,800? Who was talking about bullish divergence on the weekly chart? Who was talking about the weekly chart breaking out of this downward trend line, right? Very similar to what we're talking about on NEAR, very similar to what we're talking about on Cardano, very similar to what we're talking about on DOT, right? And then sneaky, was I posted the 4-day chart, right? The 4-day chart was ahead of the game, right? Had a pending buy signal, obviously before the weekly chart. So that's what we're going to take a look at now. We're going to take a look at that's what I want to do. Let's jump back over here. So the weekly chart does not have a pending buy signal, right? Let's jump over to the 4-day chart just to kind of take a quick look at it. You can see that's a stronger candle, but Cardano had a buy signal on the 4-day chart, right? Not on the weekly chart yet. It has a pending buy signal on the 4-day chart. Very similar to how we were calling it on Bitcoin in January. This is not luck, right? Sometimes we want to get lucky. Sometimes we want to get lucky and hit some major targets and let luck be on our side. But we're continuing to watch it unfold. We have experience of watching Bitcoin unfold. Back in January, I took a leverage long position at 16,800, January 3rd, I believe, right? And I'm in a near spot position. I'm in a Cardano spot position. I'm in a DOT spot position. On DOT, you probably have to drop down to maybe a 3-day chart. I don't know. Not even a 3-day. So it could be lagging time-wise. A 2-day chart, right? There's a buy signal on the 2-day chart, letting the trending dots kind of catch up. Maybe it takes, 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5, 2 more day candles to let everything kind of catch up and then make its move, right? Maybe it's something like that where it breaks out after that. That's what we're continuing watching, playing out very similar to Bitcoin, right? Very similar. Doesn't mean it's going to play out exactly, but let's keep going here. We're on the daily chart. Now, let's get over to the Bitcoin miners. Bitfarm up 4%, right? We're already getting people get shaken out of their position. So, you could tell who's got the patience, who doesn't, who's got to work on their patience. And you can tell, right? Buy signal back here. This is a wild animal, very similar to some of these crypto assets, right? It's a wild animal. Buy signal back here, $1.13. Came all the way back up above the 200-day moving average. Hit target 1, reversed right back down. Yesterday, already start to see the comments. Yesterday, already start to see the comments on Twitter, X app, YouTube, whatever. Are you still in Bitfarms, right? Expecting that, hey, the move is over. It's already done with, right? Yes, I'm still in Bitfarm, right? Just to pull back until otherwise, right? This was the low here, right? This is looking like a sneaky higher low, right? So until it starts breaking back down here, it's exactly the same as what I thought on this breakout here. So the breakout here, call it started breaking on this downward trend line about $1.08. It had a pending buy signal, right? Pending buy signal, $1.08, right? So if you're back in there, great. You at some point it wicked right back down to where possibly the perfect sniper entry was, right? Right at about $1.08. Wick there, but closed higher, right? It was a nice big move up, came back down, right? So yes, I'm still in it. Nothing changed, right? Nothing changed for me. So a long position. Say if you got in a long position right there, right? And you've got and say you got your stop loss down here and you're looking at like a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio, right? Like maybe like some sort of 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. Yes, I'm still in it, right? Yes, it came back down to $1.08 where the entry should have been, right? So a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio, you're looking at a 31% possible gain up to target 2, or you're playing it to target 3, or you're playing it to target 4, right? Yes, I'm still in it. It's still worth me holding on, even if I took that loss, right? A 15% potential loss. I'd probably be out before then, right? If it starts closing back below, right? Then I know like a mental stop loss. Most likely, I set the stop loss down here, but most likely if it started closing back below here, that's a 10% loss. So if you're looking at target 1, right? 1-to-1, target 2, 2.73, right? 40%. You're looking at a 5 to 1 risk to reward ratio, right? So you have to have all that mapped out. Oh, by the way, is it worth taking a 10 to 15% loss, right? Come back up to fill the gap with a 142%. Yes, I'm still in my position. Yes, if I lost 10%, I wouldn't be happy. Yes, if I lost 15% on Bitfarms, I wouldn't be happy. But I'll be a lot happier holding the position while it still lines up with my overall entry reasons why, right? The opportunity is there, right? The opportunity. So, yes, I'm still in my position. Yes, I'm still holding. The trending dots are still trending up, and the trending dots are getting up to like that 108, 109 area. So, it's still getting there. Will I feel a lot better once it gets back above the 200-day moving average and target 1 again? Yes, I'm sure I'll feel a lot better. But no pain, no gain, right? Ooh, there was it was starting to break down for a couple of days, right? If it was easy, everybody would be doing it, right? That's Bitfarms, Riot. Very similar thought. had a sell signal, a buy signal after gap up, sell signal back down, right? So still above the trailing dots, but this was looking like a double bottom, right? It's looking like double bottom. Bullish divergence, right? Bullish divergence. So we've got room to the upside. Everything still lines up on Riot. Could find support. If it comes back down below here, yeah, I'll probably get stopped out. Or yeah, I'll probably get out of my position. Or yeah, I'll take a loss. But was it worth it? Yeah, sure, whatever. I mean, from August till October, bullish divergence, right? So, do I think more than just target 1 gets hit? Yes, I do. So I'm just going to hold it, wait for it, right? Marathon Digital had the buy signal back here, still above the trailing dots. They all start looking very similar, right? So you've got shorter term targets, you got longer term targets up here, you got shorter term targets, right? Do I think more targets are going to get hit? Yes, I do. Why? Not just because there was a huge correction, but time-wise, that was a big, massive correction time-wise as well, right? From this wick down to this wick here, 63% in 82 days, right? A higher low was put in down here, right? Buy signal after that. Yes, I'd be holding my positions, right? Not financial advice. Those are the Bitcoin miners. So Bitcoin had this massive move up, hit this target. A lot of times after a big move up like that, even if it's still going to be bullish, there's going to be some sideways consolidation and or retracement and or move to the upside, right? If you kind of go back here, when I played out the long positions to the upside with leverage, right? Played to the upside, right? Massive move up. Let the trending dots catch up, move sideways, possibly move up again. Maybe put in bearish divergence, right? Continue sideways, breaks back down, comes back to the key retracement. It takes time to play out. You get a massive move up like this in Bitcoin, moves sideways, moves up, puts in divergences, comes back, still moving sideways, comes back to key retracement supports, and then moves back up to the next level, right? That's how Bitcoin works. That's how a lot of assets work, right? So you got this big move up. Next thing you know, move sideways, lets the trending dots kind of catch up, maybe puts in bearish divergence, right? Maybe it comes back down to key target areas, right? Comes back down like this. And then maybe it makes its next move up after that, right? So it doesn't just typically just doesn't continue to go just straight up. Eventually, it kind of lets things catch up. Eventually, it consolidates and makes its next move up. It takes time to play out. That's Bitcoin. Probably going to do a deeper dive tomorrow. I don't think I'm going to do it today on Friday, but I probably do a deeper dive tomorrow on Saturday. Probably going to be at least a 10-minute video. They seem to get to 20 to 25-minute videos on the weekend, but I'm definitely going to probably do a deeper dive on Bitcoin. So we'll cover that. Bitcoin dominance still currently ultra bullish as well. Still currently ultra bullish on the weekly chart. Still looking to see if this target gets hit that we mapped out way back here at 41%. Still watching and waiting. Still above the 200-day moving average. Still above the 200-week moving average. Doesn't mean other assets can't bounce, right? Let's jump over. Let me know if there's some more questions or if anything you guys want me to chart on your assets. I don't see any requests for the assets, but I do have a couple of requests that I saw on the Twitter X app post. So we'll take a look at it. But let's jump over to the Magnificent Seven. We're getting bounces today, right? There were some massive moves to the downside that we are talking about and we are calling out. Massive moves to the downside. We expect bounces along the way. So let's take a look at the weekly chart, right? Breaking down on NVIDIA. I believe there is a pending sell signal yesterday, right? Still breaking down. Had that big candle down. And then this week it pushed back up with a wick and then pushed back down. So let's take a look at the daily chart. Still bearish on the daily chart. Big move down so far, right? From this wick to this wick so far, 16% on NVIDIA, right? Still a lot of downside, further downside potential, right? Putting in a lower high, put in a lower high, put in a lower low yesterday, right? This is a lower low, confirming the lower high, right? So took out this pivot point here. Doesn't mean it's not going to let the trending dots catch up. Today, Monday, possibly Tuesday, right? Doesn't mean it's not going to let the moving averages catch up. You got the 200-day moving average down here. Great confluence with target 2, right? Eventually, it seems like it's going to let the 200-day moving average catch up and retest it at some point. It's a moving average. Could be way up here at 361. Could be way up here at 375. Just watching it trend like that, right? But at some point, we know the 20% massive gap is going to get filled. At some point, at some stage, it's going to get filled. I would be extremely surprised if we never fill that 20% gap. NVIDIA, that's NVIDIA. Weekly, daily chart of Meta, right? Big move down. Got the 200-day moving average way down here at 250. Got a 10% gap down here at 214. Massive gap at 153. Way down here at 153, right? So gaps on gaps on gaps, right? Weekly chart, big wick down. But this would be the first weekly close back below the trending dots. This would be a lower high, right? This is an amazing rally. This could be a lower high, and then we'll see if it continues down after that. So that's Meta. Not much to report. Just very wicky as of right now. It was a big move down. Even in the last few days, 12% move on a big company like this. I mean, the market cap is what's the market cap? Just under $1 trillion, right? Big move down. So 12% on 764 billion. That's a massive move down. Expect bounces and retracements along the way. How are we doing on likes? I don't see any updates. Come on, someone update me. Update me. Let's go. We want to get at least 20, 25, 30 likes before the stream ends. And then the replay crew comes in and saves the day and puts on 54 likes yesterday. So replay crew, we need you. Live crew, we need you. Let's go. Amazon, right? Let's go back to the weekly chart. And this is the 200-day. But let's go back to the weekly chart and let's change this back to the weekly just for keep it as a bookmark. So still underneath the 200-week moving average, right? It's currently above the 200-day as we saw. So it's sandwiched somewhere in between. Investors think it's a bear market or it's a bull market, right? But you probably want to lean towards the higher time frame, right? The weekly chart had a sell signal, is bouncing as of right now, but it's underneath the trending dots. The trending dots are continuing to trend downward. The moving average is probably the 100-day and the 50-day is probably trending downward, right? All trending downward. And then we'll see if a bigger retracement is going to happen. Obviously, getting a balance. I think Amazon killed it on the earnings, right? And it's been killing it on the earnings. So maybe that's going to help bounce it. Maybe it found support and it'll finally get out of this being in this bear market all the way from the top up there, right? So from the top, had a huge correction from the top at September 2021 all the way to January 2023 or December 2022, right? Had a 57% drop, right? Huge bear market from July 2021 all the way to December 2022. Bear market on Amazon. And even though the earnings continue to be strong, the chart is currently trending down on the weekly chart, right? So maybe it will finally turn around after that. But it was in a bear market for a long time and found bottom so far at March 2020 lows, right? So that's Amazon. Microsoft getting a bounce after target one. We expect lower highs, right? Expecting it. Had that sell signal after this big push up in after hours on earnings, and it's getting a little bit of a retracement of that massive move down. So very wild play for Microsoft recently. You're looking at from here, it gapped up, 4.5%, right? Switch right back around and then push it straight back down 5.65%. So very pushy back and forth, and then pushes all the way back up with a wick at 337, retraces some of that move, and just seems like it's going to continue to roll back down, right? So that's Microsoft on the daily chart. And it is currently back above the trending dots, but it was such a big push down. Just seems like a retracement of that, and then see if it continues down from there. Tesla, still ultra bearish. It could be finding support at the 200-day. I think this is a 200-week moving average. 200-week moving average, right? Could be finding support there. Could be finding support at this key target area, right? So it wicked into it. It's wicked again on the box. It's still currently ultra bearish on the daily chart, but it could be finding temporary support. So if you were to drop down to like maybe the 4-hour chart, no, still ultra bearish on the 4-hour chart, but maybe if you found temporary support, I'll go down to the 10-minute chart if it proves my point, right? So the 1-hour chart, right? There is a reversal candle after bullish divergence, very similar to the NASDAQ. So you have bullish divergence followed by a reversal candle. Maybe it finds temporary support, but it's still bearish on all time frames. Still bearish even on the 1-hour chart. And I'm not going to drop down the 5-minute chart. But Tesla, maybe it finds support here. It has bullish divergence, a reversal candle, currently back above the 200-week moving average, and then maybe it bounces and maybe it gets some sort of a bounce and retracing back up at here, partially fills that gap, right? I could definitely see something like that happening where kind of retraces back up. Maybe take some time to play out. Does a fill and then comes back down. But getting back on the higher time frames, it's bearish on the weekly chart. So if there's any shorter term retracements, right, it's shorter term because the weekly chart is bearish, right? The weekly chart is bearish. So even if there's some sort of retracement of this huge candle, I'm expecting a lower high to be put in and then continue back to the downside. But weekly chart is bearish. The daily chart is ultra bearish. The 4-hour chart is ultra bearish. The 1-hour chart has bullish divergence, but is still bearish, right? All time frames seem to be bearish on Tesla. Apple, weekly chart still continues to be bearish on the weekly chart. Doesn't mean it won't get a bounce. Currently at $2.6 trillion, right? Still bearish on the weekly chart. Daily chart, still bearish, right? 4-hour chart was ultra bearish and no longer ultra bearish. So maybe there's some short-term relief, right? For the bulls. Maybe there's some short-term profit taking and lets the trending dots kind of catch up. But it's bearish overall on Apple, and we know that's a huge market cap. It was 3 trillion at one time. Now it's down to 2.62 trillion. Google, ultra bearish on the 4-hour chart, right? Huge move down. Bearish on the daily chart. At some point, it's going to let the trending dots catch up. Fill this gap, right? It's below the first target box. Weekly chart, pending sell signal on the weekly chart. So it went from divergences to a huge drop with a pending sell on the weekly chart. So it doesn't mean in the coming weeks, even if we get that sell signal, it doesn't mean it couldn't come back down and then start putting in a lower high, right? We would expect that. Let those trending dots kind of slowly roll over. Expect that lower high, right? Expect another lower high, probably similar to Apple, right? That would be kind of like an Apple play. And you could kind of see that playing out, possibly similar to like Apple. And then it just continues to like take its time to kind of roll over like that. That would be a very similar play to Apple on Google. And I'm sure on the future live streams, we'll continue to look back in hindsight, and that's what we'll do. Good morning. Smashing the like button, everybody. Johnny C, can you chart? Lena Crypto. Priscilla liked it. Jewelry Affairs. Looking to long spot trade. Woo, man. Everyone's in the house today. Johnny C, Lena Crypto, looking to long spot trade. Okay, we'll take a look at it. Man, that was a lot. We covered a lot. And let's get back to Sniper Top 40. Where are we at? Oh, we did have a request. Natural gas up 10.5%, right? So we're gonna take a look at that as our first request. So the second half of the stream, 15 to 30 minutes. We're 52 minutes into, man, those charts beat me down. We covered it for 52 minutes. We went hard in the paint. Hit the like button like you mean it. Love it. If you dislike it, it's okay. We need a couple haters in here, right? We might convert you. But maybe you're a hater long term, right? Maybe you're just it was your first time to the channel and you're hating on it, right? So we had a buy signal on the weekly chart back at $2.92, right? I stopped covering natural gas a lot because people were trying to copy trade me, and they were getting I'm saying it like it's divergence, right? Very discouraged, right? Divergence, discouraged. They were getting very discouraged, right? And I was playing it on lower time frames, but they were getting very discouraged, letting natural gas go through a bottoming phase, right? And they're copy trading me. And I say, don't copy trade me, but we know people copy trade me, right? We know that, but we tell them not to. And always do your own research. But they were getting very discouraged, and I could tell in the comments, whether it was a Discord or whether it was a Twitter X app or whatever it was, right? We saw very discouraging comments. So I stopped covering it, but it doesn't mean I stopped trading it, right? So here's natural gas, and it's still on the watch list. Had a buy signal back on the weekly chart at $2.92, call it 93 cents, right? Have this big magnet at the 200-week moving average, right? Let's drop down to the daily chart. It's a wild animal. No one said it's going to be easy, right? I mean, you got buy signals, you got sell signals, you got sideways consolidation, right? It's not for the weak, that's for sure, right? Had this, down here is consolidating. You had to be on a lower time frame to catch this, right? You had to be on a lower time frame. Had a buy signal on the 4-hour chart, right? You have to be watching this like a hawk. And then boom, gapped up on the 4-hour chart, right? After the buy signal, you pretty much had to be on lower time frames to be trading this. I had to drop down to the 1-hour chart on some instances, right? To catch this. But it's a wild animal. It makes some massive moves, right? So, for example, the 4-hour chart had a buy signal at 260 and gapped up. And so I put this gap line down here at 260, Still has not been filled as of yet. So I'm going to leave it on the chart. And then it became ultra bullish and then had a buy signal on the daily chart, right? Consolidated a little bit, right? Had another buy signal, moved up, massive move. These are massive moves from this buy signal to this sell signal, 7%. The reason why it's massive because it's with 10% leverage on futures, right? This is natural gas futures, right? And so that's a 70% move from there to there, but a 70% move to the wick, 120% move to the top of the wick there, right? If you were still holding all the way up here, it's a 300% move. It's a massive move, followed by this big correction, right? Followed by another buy signal over here. So you got another buy signal over here, and then a massive move up, breaks this downward trend line, right? And then gaps up from there all the way up, another potential 220% move. I wasn't in this move here, but I was in this move back here. I didn't take a move here. I was already in too many positions, but we had this trend line drawn out like this. And if I was watching it on the lower time frames, I would have had it mapped out like this, watching it, waiting. It's back above the trending dots. Most likely, I probably would have pulled the trigger back in here, right? Based off of a lower time frame. And then boom, gaps up. When would profit taking be a good idea, right? Gapping up. But just below this big longer term target box we put out weeks and months ago. Here we are. We're only a few percent away from the 200-week moving average, right? Got this big, at some point, we don't know when, at some point, my original thesis was way back here that we're going to retest the 200-week moving average, very similar to Bitcoin. And it is currently playing out like that, right? So you just have to decide what time frame you're on, what time frame you're playing it, right? It was looking very similar to Bitcoin. Bullish divergence is still bullish on the weekly chart. You got this target, then possibly this target after that. It's a wild animal. That's why I don't cover it as much, right? It's not for the newbies, that's for sure. So natural gas. Okay, let's get through all the comments. Let's retrace. Let's check it out. Javier, what's up? Javier, welcome back. West Diddy, morning from beautiful SoCal. Good morning, Market Snipers. Julia Affairs, hello. Go time in T-2. He was early. Early bird gets the worm. John Pye, welcome back. Rick's, jealous. You're on the vacation with the river, but much needed vacation. Awesome. Me and the wife have to plan. She's got to take 5 consecutive days off this year from her work, which will include a 2 days off. I'm sure I'll still do the live streams, but from a remote location, probably from the gaming laptop, right? Probably from not as good of a stream, right? But I'm sure I'll knock out at least, maybe we'll get through a 20 to 30 minute live stream on vacation. We don't know when. We don't know where this location is. If anyone's got any great ideas, we love to be out in nature. We love to be on hikes. We love to be on a lake. I proposed to the wife when we were on the lake in Idaho, right? Rented a cabin for 4 days and on the lake, and we love it. We had a boat dock, all that stuff. Proposed to her on the lake. We like to be around water, like to be on the, maybe on an island, maybe an ocean, right? It's got to have Wi-Fi though. We got to have Wi-Fi, and I got to be able to do these live streams we'll probably have an agreement where I'm on the live streams for 30 minutes. And then after that, we're out adventuring outside, right? So let me know, hit me up with the comments. Where should we take our 5-day hiatus? So she's got to take advantage of it. Maybe it's on a lake. Maybe it's back to Idaho. Maybe. I don't know. Let me know. Rick, jealous of you. Awesome. Luis, good morning. Doc, hello from Germany. Awesome. Waldo, welcome back. Jesse, you are very likable. Stand up man. They're lost. Oh, you're probably referring to the dislikes. It's all right, Rick's Moneymaker's Home. I'm very likable, and I can be obnoxious, right, at the same time. And it probably rubs people the wrong way sometimes. Or, sometimes they don't love the charts because we're calling it how we see it, not how maybe they want to see it, right? They've got their own lens on. It's okay, Rick, we got very thick skin over here. My family was they still are ultra competitive when I was growing up, right? I was very competitive. When I was a little kid, I wouldn't cry if I got hurt, right? If I got hurt playing tackle football with no pads as a little kid on the recess field, I wouldn't cry. But if I lost, I would tear up, right? If I lost, I would tear up. You could hit me hard playing tackle football with no pads. I wouldn't cry. But if I lost, I would tear up. I was ultra competitive. They made me that way. They were ruthless to me. They were ultra competitive. They would gang up on me, the whole entire family. I have a huge family. So if sometimes people don't like me being obnoxious, right? I'm calm compared to being when I was a kid, right? I'm calm from my early 20s. I'm mid 40s now. So I'm calm, but I still like to win. I'm not as ruthless though. So if there's a couple dislikes, sometimes it's probably, old Jesse being obnoxious and being a wild child, right? Good afternoon, Jesse. Good afternoon, Caesar, my man. Am I going to say this wrong? Let me know if I'm saying this wrong. Pinkuk, YT. Did I say that wrong? I'm sure I said it wrong. So let's go, Cardano. Yeah, let's go. Price target for ADA. I covered those. Priscilla liked it. Uh-oh. Johnny C, can you chart Lena crypto looking to long spot trade? Okay, let's do it. My man Johnny C, longtime sniper in the Discord. Awesome, Johnny C, to see you here. Lena, crypto, Tether. Let's do that one. Let's do Binance. Okay. Looking to long Lena. All right. So I could see some similarities to the ones that we posted in this video here. So go back there and look at like some possible similarities about crypto alert. So, let's get back to the chart. Yeah. So this is a weekly chart, right? Let's drop down. Just taking a deep breath here. That was a lot to cover for an hour straight. Okay, so that's a weekly chart, right? It's just up against the trailing dots, right? Seems like there could be some relative strength coming back on the weekly chart, right? It seems like it retraced from this. Wow, that was a massive move, by the way. Let's not from the weekly chart getting back above the trending dots there, all the way to that wick, 350%. Let's just think about that for a second. Big hedge funds hope to get their clients 20% per year, right? Maybe some crazy high performing ones hope to get 40%. We're talking about crypto moves, right, on a weekly basis for 19 weeks, had a 350% crazy move, right? So, wow, unreal opportunities that we have as snipers in the market for swing trades, right? So when the weekly chart got back above, that was great, right? That you probably got to drop down to a lower time frame though, to get a better sniper entry. So let's look at the daily chart. So the daily chart, there's some relative strength coming back on the weekly chart. The weekly chart was, let's see, RSI is currently at 47, right? So gaining relative strength, 47, still under the trending dots. So let's go to the daily chart on Lena. Had a buy signal, right? Had a reversal candle back here. I wonder if we had bullish divergence. No, we did not have bullish divergence. MACD bullish crossover, right? Had a close back above the trending dots. Trending dots closing back up, right? So could start to see a move on Lena, looking to long spot trade. Okay. So the sniper entry, Johnny C, was back here, right? Probably getting back above the trending dots, and probably sometime around the pending buy signal, right? So somewhere from here to here would be like my ideal entry, right? Not just the buy signal, but like somewhere around there, right? So somewhere the sweet spot is going to be around from breakout of this trend line and probably the trending dots while it's a pending buy signal. It's probably a little early, right? But you know me, I like to be a little bit early and catch it before the lagging indicators kick in and flush up to zero point zero 0.01, right? So flush up. And then there's a little bit of retracement. Looked like a back test. Let me just kind of take that off. So it pushed straight up. Looked like it back tested that downward trend line and then kind of pushing back up, right? So, oop, got a little crazy on that move. So it kind of moved back down. Looks like it back tested and starting to push back up. As we start to look at it, let's look at the 2-day, right? The 2-day had a buy signal, came back tested the trending dots. Let's look at the 3-day, right? So at what point you have to decide what your entry is, right? I showed you what my entry would have been, but does it mean that you couldn't get in now, right? You still possibly could, right? Especially if you're looking for like a longer term push. This is the 3-day chart. We still don't even have a pending buy signal on the 3-day chart, right? This could be the first 3-day candle back above the trending dots since the September 19th, right? So then you could see some, preliminary targets like this, right? Probably like that. Then maybe some even longer term targets, right? And then, so that is the potential. Seems like there is some potential there in Lena. So it might be something for you, right? But the sniper entry in the daily chart already happened. And maybe the 3-day chart would be good, right? It's still bullish on the daily chart. It pushed up, it consolidated, right? It's letting the trending dots kind of catch up. So, anywhere from like now to like, when would be the next possible entry point, right? Maybe it continues to consolidate. You could probably redraw this trend line to there now. And so if it, maybe you want to wait till like it starts breaking out back above here, right? Because maybe it continues to consolidate like this and then breaks out or breaks out, right? So you just have to decide, right? At what point do you consider taking an entry point while it's consolidating, kind of letting the trending dots catch up on the daily chart? And that's how you kind of want to play it from here, right? So that's Lena. What else? What else we got? Any other ones? Grant, Masterson, Sniper, started as an investor and now swing trading the daily chart. Grant here early, probably like 3:30 a.m. in Australia, probably getting ready for his morning swim. Super consistent over there. If you need real estate, I think Grant's your guy over in Australia. I think he's a realtor, and so if you're looking to buy, sell, or rent your property in Australia, depending on what area you're in Australia, I know it's a continent, right? It's a big area, but even in Australia, if you're in a whole different area, maybe he could refer you to someone. Maybe he's got contacts in different parts of Australia. Grant is your man for real estate over there. Longtime sniper. We take care of our own, right? We take care of our own. Grant, welcome back. And thanks for all of your support, my man. I appreciate it. So, without any follow-up questions, without any follow-up comments, nothing else you want me to chart, maybe we'll call it here at an hour, 9 minutes. Hope everyone has a great weekend. Make sure to get outside and look for that video. I'm most likely gonna do a Bitcoin update video, maybe do a little bit deeper dive and spend 10 minutes, 15 minutes, possibly 20 minutes. We'll take a look at it overall, long term, midterm, and even short term. We'll do a bigger video update there as it's down currently. What is it down? 1.5% today, right? So let's look at the lower time frame. Another sell signal on the 1 hour chart, obviously, right? Another one. Another sell signal on the 2 hour chart, right? 3-hour chart. We have a first pending sell signal on the 3-hour chart. So, it could continue going sideways. With that, I hope everyone has a good weekend. Hope everyone has a good time with their friends and family. Get outside and step away from the charts for a little bit. ABK, hello. Welcome, ABK. And I'll see you on the next one. Thank you. And I'll see you on the next one.